I could have stayed back home, but they wouldn't have given me the licence back, so I have to come out here, face the music and get it done one way or another. My full career hinges on getting through this case tomorrow, so hopefully all goes well. But to be honest with you, I'm not too confident about how it's going to go tomorrow. I mean, it's some of the things have been said out here, what I've meant to have done. If it goes wrong tomorrow, I'll not be boxing again. Let's put it that way. My whole career will be ruined.
It's the morning of the court case, and more details about what Scott's been charged with have filtered through via his Spanish lawyer. It's only about half an hour before the trial is due to begin, and I think it's the first time it's occurred to him that he might be about to lose his freedom.
They'll try to give me 3 years for the police assault. Try to give me 3 years for that, so then a year and a half for this and a year and a half for that. So adds up to about maybe 5 years. Yeah.
I've never seen him so beaten. But only minutes before Scott's court case is about to start, the judge due to preside over the trial calls off sick, and the case is postponed until 2009.
It's a relief, and it isn't a relief. I was expecting it to be done today. I've been geared up for this trial for a while now, and I think everybody has been. To turn up today and the judge is no well, it's a bit of a sickener, isn't it? A bit of a sickener, but if it's put after next year, means the boxing board of control should be giving us the licence back. So that means I can get back working again and back to my profession, as be the professional fighter, innit?
Despite the bravado, I think Scott knows that with his case in Spain unresolved, his boxing career is also on hold. It turns out to be far worse than that. It's a month later, and Scott has stopped answering his phone entirely. A newspaper has reported that he's been admitted to hospital with a knife wound to his hand so serious that he needs surgery. I suspect that he's started drinking again, but only now do I realise how bad it might be. He calls the day the Boxing Board of Control finally tell him they won't reinstate his licence to box, and that his ban will remain in place. I meet him at his Cambuslang home and want to know what's happened with his hand.
We were harmed there. But I was cooking my dinner, right, holding an onion, and I sliced my hand with an onion, right through with a knife, right through the onion.
Were you sure, was it?
No, it's healing up now.
It's alright.
It's healing up now, but that's what happened there. But you know the way the press try and portray things again.
Whatever Scott's done to his hand has killed off his comeback indefinitely. However, the Boxing Board's refusing to reinstate Scott's licence is the final nail in the coffin.
It was all to do with court cases and bringing the game into disrepute and all that. That's how I got banned. Some of the things I said, fair enough, I was out of order. Basically, I just put my hands up and says, I was going through a lot of troubles at the time, so, I mean, I'm a human being. No, I'm not some sort of robot, you know what I mean? They've obviously made their mind up. I mean, they want me to retire. There's no chance I'm going to let them beat me, I'll tell you that. Because I train every day. So that to me isn't going to have for else. That to me is training every day. I mean, I says I'll keep training until I get my licence back. I'll keep myself fit, keep my body fit. I mean, what they're saying about making half for else, that's all on the papers, that's all paper talk, again. So I've got to keep my body strong, keep my mind strong, until I get my licence back.
I can't help feeling that Scott's deluding himself, and I'm concerned about where he goes from here. But for Scott, things are about to take a disastrous turn. A few days after I last saw him, his uncle, who'd been facing the same charges in Spain, took his own life. On having the news broken to him, Scott began drinking heavily, attacked his girlfriend, and assaulted a policeman called to the scene. He was remanded in custody but released after a month, only to be arrested again for drink driving. In September 2008, Scott Harrison began a 10-month jail sentence in Barlinnie. I was deeply disappointed in Scott. Yes, frustration with the British Boxing Board, coupled with a personal tragedy, had caused him to self-destruct. But I think that Scott Harrison, the boxer who trained all his adult life to be a world-class fighter, couldn't admit that he still had personal problems to overcome. That would have been to show a weakness. But Scott's continued inability to control his aggression isn't something I can attribute to the nature of his sport, and his unwillingness to acknowledge his own demons had destroyed his comeback. I still needed answers, and nearly a year to the day after I first began filming with Scott, I caught up with his father Peter at the gym.
The things that happened to Scott, it tripped him over the edge at that time with his uncle dying. A lot of people couldn't handle it. I mean, trouble in Spain, he's made a few mistakes over here, and it's contributed to affecting the way his life is, isn't it?
Is that why he went back to drinking?
I could never explain the reason why Scott did rely on drink. I mean, maybe probably Scott doesn't even know. Maybe it's a complicated thing. Like I said, using the alcohol as a crutch, you know. Sure, Scott knows the problems it's caused him, and when he tries to learn from them, he'll have learned through the things that led him to Barlinnie. I still think it'll be a happy ending. I think, I hope and pray that Scott's got to get his licence back. That'll put, and then he can get his career back on track again. I'm sure that's what's got to happen.